Welcome to another freaking fantastic episode of I Know Jax. I'm Joe Talentino. Isn't One Spark just great? We've been downtown all week with our One Spark project, the I Know Jax mobile magazine. And this week it's been all about One Spark and the local creativity and innovation. But this weekend is for many of us filled with dread and anticipation of the approaching deadline of tax day. Are you one of those people who always gets everything done in time, or are you like me and you wait to the very last minute? In any case, I think you have time to sit down for 30 minutes and put your feet up and relax and forget all about it. Let's instead talk about a topic that's very close to my heart, or should I say stomach. That's food. I love to cook and I also love to eat. And this time of year, it's about barbecuing. Don't you just love barbecuing in the backyard, hanging out with friends and family? That's what summer is for me. Somebody who has really taken this to heart is Cole Pepper. I first met Cole at one of the Sharks games, and as you probably know, he's been a voice on the radio for sports for quite some time. But maybe you didn't know that barbecuing is another passion of his. Today I got Cole Pepper here, and we're going to talk about Jacksonville's barbecue festival, or what is it?
This is, well, that's the essence of what it has become.
Right.
Yeah, the Jacksonville Backyard Barbecue Championships. Yeah. Sixth year we've had it, and when we started this thing out, it was just a small little rinky-dink idea to try to raise some money for
Sure as heck isn't
Daniel.
Small or rinky-dink now, is it? How many guys you got coming out? You have a lot of teams.
Yeah,
right?
We'll have somewhere between 50 and 60 teams by the
Wow.
time it's all said and done. And ever since we moved to the stadium, of course, there's been a lot more focus and attention on it.
Sure.
And that we expect somewhere between 2,000 and 3,000 people to attend. And a lot of barbecue is going to be sampled out over the course of
I was going to say, okay, besides barbecue, I mean, it's a contest, right?
Yep, yeah.
So tell me a little bit about the contest part of it.
From a contest standpoint, we separate into two different categories. We've got the pro teams, and these are the teams that go on the barbecue circuit. And
they travel around.
Yeah,
in
some
there.
of them travel the state or the region or what
You
have
may have seen them on a TV show or
well,
not.
that type of team.
Right,
Yeah,
okay.
that type of team. And then we have what really is the essence of this competition, which is the backyard barbecue team.
Gotcha.
So last year we had, I think it was 52.
So your regular Joes.
This is
basically.
right. This is just the backyard grill jockey, guy who thinks, you know what, I make some great ribs. Yeah, well, and this is the thing. If you are a guy who really takes pride in what you're barbecuing in the backyard,
right.
This is a great chance for you to compare and see
if you're really as good as you think you
yeah,
are.
How does it stack up? We've had some folks in the past who have thought, oh, I've got this thing licked.
Yeah.
And they come in and they finish 40th.
Right.
And they go, okay. But
that would probably be me.
but part of this too is that we have people who do that, and then they go, okay, now I really got to, I want to find out why.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we've actually had a number of teams who their first exposure to a barbecue contest has been at our contest, and then
they start graduating up.
Yeah, we had a guy who won a couple of years ago who wound up spending, I don't know, tens of thousands of dollars on a big barbecue rig.
Nice.
We've had those guys, but we've also had guys win who are cooking on like 55-gallon drums that have been jerry-rigged to become a smoker.
Love it.
So you get kind of the full batch of high tech and low tech that have won this thing.
So serious backyard, all the way up to the pros, basically.
Yeah, and really even from down to the bottom of where you just have a couple of Webers,
Nice.
That's and part of this is about the competition.
Yeah.
But part of this for the teams is they just want to enjoy the atmosphere, the camaraderie.
Yeah.
Some companies sponsor teams and so forth, or you just get guys who, hey, let's get some guys from the
Good
neighborhood.
excuse to get together and eat some barbecue,
exactly.
right?
Yeah, and they have a great time with it, and it's and of course it goes for a great cause.
Well, that's what I was going to get around to next. All this is for which cause?
Well, we started the Glenn Cook Memorial Scholarship after my father-in-law, a former chairman of the board at Daniel, passed away. And so what the scholarship goes for is it pays for the cost of college for kids who have previously been homeless and who have gone through Daniel's Project Prepare. And there are just some amazing stories of kids who have been in a really rough situation.
Right.
They found stability with Daniel and then went on to college. And this is our 6th year. So a couple of years ago, we had our first graduating class
Awesome.
of
That had to
kids
be
who
feel awesome.
oh, wonderful. And kids who tell us they may have been in a whole different situation. They may have been on the streets in jail or worse, if not for Daniel, and now here they are graduating from college.
That's awesome. So barbecue for a good cause is nothing better than
How
that.
can you beat it?
You can't beat that. Well, what are the dates for it, and how can we find out more information?
April 19th at Everbank Field. You can go online at danielkids.org to find information. If you buy tickets in advance, you can save money over the gate price, $20 at the gate if you buy day of. And either way, you will not walk away hungry
Today I'm at Bold City Brewery with the founder, Brian Miller. How you doing, man?
Good, how are you?
So tell me about this brainchild, man. How did this come about?
It was just one of those things.
I just happened to start a brewery.
It's you know, a lot of people that go into business for themselves get fed up with what they're doing on a daily basis.
Sure.
And that was kind of what happened with me. Not so much with Mom. She was retiring. And
by the way, Mom is his partner.
Yes,
like
Mom is my
coolest
business
mom
partner.
ever,
It's
right?
true. She is. She's even my mom when I say she's cool. So she's pretty cool. But it was just one of those things where I was tired of what I was doing. I'd had my first son, and I kind of had an epiphany, I guess, one day that said, is this what I want to do the rest of my life? Is this what I want my kids to kind of see me doing, and then them follow that path? And I kind of
Are you being the right role model? Basically.
Right, exactly. And I thought, you know, I mean, I wasn't healthy at all. I was sitting behind a desk, you know, eating Twinkies, whatever else I could get my hands on, sitting behind a computer, and that's not good for you at all. And so I thought, you know, why not do something I love?
So you just said, had you been brewing beer as a hobby before?
I started home brewing probably about 4 or 5 years before we opened Bold City back in October of 2008. And actually I met Ken from Just Brew It, which is a homebrew shop here in Jacksonville, at the Home and Patio show. And so they had the homemade soda machines, and I was over there. I said, "Whoa, what's this?" And then Ken's sitting over there, and I said, "Hold on, there's beer here." And so,
wait a minute.
Yeah, it all kind of
got my attention now.
Yeah, it spawned off of that, and then bought a homebrew kit and never looked back.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Well, you guys have done a great job here. You were really the first one of the new wave of craft beer here, right?
Yeah, we were the first. Well, you had your brew pubs. You had Seven Bridges, Ragtime, and then in St. Augustine.
But not really breweries in the same.
Well, they're breweries that they brew beer on site, but they're not production breweries.
Right, gotcha.
What they're brewing on site is sold on site.
On site.
And so yeah, we were the first to come in and open a full production brewery.
Cool.
And
how the landscape has changed since then.
I know,
crazy,
it's awesome.
Isn't it?
I think it's fantastic.
So it's not one of those ultra competitive deals where it's like, oh,
no,
screw those guys.
No, the competitiveness is, the competitiveness really comes a lot from the customers and the distributors.
Right.
They're the ones who kind of
they take up your battle for you.
Yeah, well, a little bit, and it's like, why are you even doing that? The more, the better, the merrier, and we're all happy about it.
Sure.
And so as we continue to grow and the Jax beer or the Jacksonville craft beer scene continues to grow, I think that's fantastic for everybody.
Yeah. When did you guys make the decision to start canning and getting stuff out in the stores? Because that's pretty recent for you.
Yeah, I wanted to can
from day one.
Yeah, we'll bring Mom back into this. I wanted to can 6 months into it, and it's not the cost of the equipment. The cost of the equipment is very expensive, but it's the minimum order of cans that delayed us because the minimum order is a full truckload.
Wow.
Now, you used to not be able to split it into 2 brands. Now you can.
Okay.
So, for instance, we can split up Killer Whale and Mad Manatee on one truck.
Which, by the way, that's what we got in front of us is Killer Whale and a beer break. How about that?
Yeah, beer break.
That's my favorite one you guys do, by the way.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. But we were going to upgrade our packaging equipment anyways. We were bottling. And so I kind of thought, okay, this is my last chance to convince her.
Push mom.
Yeah, because even though we're business partners, she still makes, we make the final decisions on a lot of things together, but with this, it was kind of, when it comes to money and purchasing and things like that, she makes that final decision. I can only beg and hope. And so I put together, I got to say to myself, it was a pretty awesome presentation. And I even brought in bottles.
So you convinced her?
Yeah, and I said, here you go. And so I brought in bottles and cans, and we did blind taste tests and stuff like that. And she was really convinced at the end, and she said, okay. She said, let's do it.
And so it's been awesome
ever
since,
it.
Right?
I love it. When we'd bottle, it wasn't fun after a little while. You're just like, all right, we got a bottle again today and this and that.
Darn it.
And canning, even though it's still new to us, I love coming in and doing it.
Yeah.
I love coming in and canning.
Well, it's got to be cool to know that there's so many people around Jacksonville that are enjoying your beer.
Yeah, it is. It's very, it's humbling, and it's a great feeling at the same time.
Cool. For more information about craft beer in Jacksonville and Bold City Brewery in particular, go to iknowjax.com. Today I'm with my buddy Chris Chislett, the wine guy at Royal Palm Village Wine and Tapas. And today we're going to talk about something pretty controversial. Now, I was reading on your blog.
This is front page news kind of stuff. This is big.
Wine and cheese. Do they go together?
You know, it's the whole wine and cheese thing. It's even just wine and cheese as a sentence. People have wine and cheese
They go
parties
together,
and all this
like
kind of
peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah, well, I got somebody that asked me about this. It's a little over like 2 months ago. So, you know, I went to a wine tasting and I was doing like 40, 50 different wines, and you kind of get to
And
a
they were
point,
hammered
right?
at that point,
Oh,
didn't
yeah, I mean, you know, at that point you don't even care. But what's the way to kind of keep your palate in check, you know? Because by the 30 or 40, I mean, even if you're spitting or, you know, even if you're just taking small sips, what's the way to keep your palate in check? You know, is it water? Is it crackers? Is it cheese? And, you know, wine and cheese, it's kind of been promoted as like this match made in heaven kind of thing. And sure, you can pair wine with cheese, but personally to me, cheese, I find, if anything, kind of coats your palate a lot more, blocks those taste buds, and if anything, it kind of inhibits your taste buds a little bit. So I
kind of makes
personally,
sense.
yeah, I think
That'd be like pouring milk over your tongue.
yeah, well, exactly. It's kind of the thicker, creamier cheeses are definitely the harder ones. But personally, that's where I stand, is that wine and cheese really isn't this pairing that it's kind of made out to be. Personally,
especially if you're tasting wine.
Yeah, definitely. If you're tasting wine, sure, there's no problem drinking wine and having some cheese. But if you're really
make
trying
that clear
to,
for the people out there who aren't,
I don't want,
you know,
I don't want nasty,
it's my
angry
audience.
letters next week. You know, but the whole concept of wine and cheese, I just don't think it's this, you know, match made in heaven kind of perfect pairing. You know, gonna help you appreciate the wine as much as people think it will.
Water and
you know?
crackers.
Personally, water and crackers. If you're really just trying to, you know, enjoy the wine itself.
So you heard it here first. Wine and crackers, not wine and cheese. We'll see you guys again on the next Wine Guy segment. That's it for this week's show. Now you can go back to your desk and sort out all those IRS forms if you want to. Gosh, I'm not looking forward to that either. In any case, I'll be back here on Easter weekend with a brand new episode of I Know Jax. Until then, I'll see you on the internet.